What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up? What time is it? It's like 4 a.m. or something. 4 a.m. here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My name's Lasso. This is Lasso's Passions, a channel. I'm just up. I don't know. You know, I don't really have a schedule that I just adhere to when it comes to sleeping. You know, it gets darker much later in the day, and just about when the sun is going down, that's about the time I'm just passing out and going to bed. I mean, I got a little noise. Sorry about that. Are you hungry? Oh, my kitty's hungry. How are you hungry? No, no, you already ate dinner, and it is 4 a.m. Okay, fine. I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you half of one, and your next meal is in 6 hours after that. There you go, kitty. There. My cat likes the. My cat is crazy about this brand. Crazy about that brand. I fucking hate cat food. It's so gross. Ugh. Especially when you get on your fingers. Fucking nasty. And that sauce. I don't know what they're eating. But he likes it. He likes it. Benny's a big fan of the cat food. Man, so yeah, I got to see Sean Astin. I got to see Sean in person. I'm not gonna lie, he's starting to look like Peter Jackson. No, I'm just saying he's no offense. He's just like we all do when we get older. We put on some pounds. He's put on some pounds. He's jolly though. He's him. That's always a concern of mine when you see somebody and they're not looking their best. It's I can't help it. It's the first thing I think of. That's where my mind goes. So yeah, he just looked a little. I don't know, man. Like someone should say something. But hey, don't you think it's time you should hit the treadmill or something? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean, but anyways, he was so nice. He was super away with people. Like he immediately felt like he was like your brother. Like he was so cool with everybody. And so there I am with the painting, and at first I was like, okay, I've never been to a Comic Con center. Yo, what up? Just talking to whoever wants to listen. I'm just telling a story. So there's yeah. So I was taking the canvas to Sean. I'm in line, and apparently when you go to these Comic Con things, it's like what is it? Like you can pay the entry fee with credit card, but apparently you can't pay the I guess the autographs. I guess you got to go pay for autographs and stuff, but it's you get a chance to meet fans and I guess hang out with them and get paid for it. It's pretty funny. But anyways, yeah. So I didn't know. So I had the guy next to me in line. I was like, "Hey, can you save my spot?" He's like, "Sure." I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I got to go to the ATM because I don't have any cash." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Could you hold this painting for me and then I'll go to the ATM?" Just told stranger. I was like, "Here you go. Hang on to my really expensive painting. I'll see you later." I just totally trust and faith. I don't know. Yeah, dude, just hang on to my shit. I'll be right back. The guy was super cool. I should have got his number because we ended up talking the whole most of the time there. So funny dude, fat, small, chubby dude, total nerd, total nerd, total Lord of the Rings nerd. Anyways, yeah. So I go get an ATM. I get my last $80 that I have that I can use. Why is it so limiting in life? Why does this life have to be so limiting? Anyways, so I take the $80 and I have a choice where I could do a picture or an autograph. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just get the autograph. Picture isn't that important, really. I mean, the whole mission with the paintings is that they get stepped on my cat's tail on accident, but I didn't step on it too hard. It's dark in here. I can't see much. Anyways, yeah. So I ended up taking the yeah. I ended up I met Sean Astin, the guy who's in Lord of the Rings, and he plays Rudy. He what else? He's in a lot of shit. He's in a lot of stuff. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, he should be in a lot more stuff. It's almost like he's not enough stuff for the stature that he is an actor. And it's crazy because when you arrive, there's tables, and he had pictures of like from all his movies, even like from Goonies, and you just go, huh? You would think it would be more than that, but I was thinking about it, I was like, this guy has the most chill, like celebrity job. It's just it's like he didn't have to go too much, and he didn't do too little. He did just the right amount of work. He's like the most chill celebrity you'll meet. But yeah, he seemed like the average dude. Sean just seemed like the average man. He was really cool. I don't mean that to be negative or rude. I mean that as in personality. He just seemed like he can get along with just about anybody. He has that personality. You know what he did when you first saw the painting? He was like, "Whoa, this is." I don't know what he said, but he was like, "Oh, this is amazing." Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, bub? Yeah. Yeehaw. Yeah, Sean. So yeah. So he takes the painting and he's looking at it and he says, "Oh my," he says, "My wife is gonna love this." Gonna take this home with him, right? And I guess the assistant there was like, "No, no, this is for you to sign." And he goes, "Oh." And well, I think he was joking. And it didn't land. It like went over. Like I laughed. I was like, funny. And he takes the painting and he holds it up in the air and for everybody to see. He's like, hey, look at this. And everybody starts cheering. Oh, whoa! It's hilarious. And then yeah, he takes it down. I'm like, well, you can just sign it, write whatever you want, anywhere is fine. And he just takes a minute. And I tell him, I was like, well, so the whole thing with the painting is I do these paintings of actors, TV actors, movie actors, and they're all being hung at this local. Hey, kitty cat, are you still hungry? I literally fed you a whole, well, half a thing, but you already had dinner, and it's like what, 4 a.m. and you want breakfast already? No, you already got food in the bowl, so don't if you bite my leg, I'm gonna smack your butt. Anyways, my cat can be so vicious when he gets hungry. It's ridiculous. And it's not like he doesn't get fed. He's just fat. He's just a fat cat. So I'm like really strict with his when I feed him. But I can't help it because he'll start like he acts like he's starving. Like he's like, oh, I gotta look for food. He's like, no, you just literally had a full bowl and you have another full bowl of dry food. So don't even act like you're starving, cat, because you're not. Anyways, he's got zoomies. He's got the zoomies. Yeah, he's got the zoomies. Anyways, it's not even my cat, by the way. It's a cat I'm taking care of for a friend. It's been 3 months. Yeah, he's all right. So yeah, I take it. He signs it. Unfortunately, I only had enough for the autograph. Now I don't know how the Comic-Con works. That's my first one. I honestly, it's kind of weird. You would think the setup for these like celebrities as big as Sean would be set up a lot better and the lines a lot better. It just was weird. it just felt very like you got pushed into a corner. And for his stature, it just felt, I don't know, it just felt like beneath Sean. But Sean, like I said, Sean seems like really cool. I missed out on Kel, unfortunately. Um, I I want to be mad at myself, but I'm not. I mean, there's no point just getting mad. So I did the painting, but I missed out. He wasn't there yesterday. I guess he was there Saturday, and I missed Kel Mitchell, the guy in Good Burger, most probably well known for the Good Burger movies, and he was in a, I guess, kind of like an SNL kind of skit for like kids in Nickelodeon. What was it? Keenan and Kel. Um, I used to watch that show actually. I thought it was hilarious. Big fan. So I wanted to fucking just beat myself up for missing him, but what can you do? Maybe next time. Maybe next time he comes in town, or if he's in a close enough town I can drive to, I can try to get his autograph. But yeah, I have all these paintings. I have about 10 now, I think. 10 or 11, and if I add these three paintings, I'll have what? I'll have what 15, 15 paintings that are signed, close to being signed. And it's all in this movie theater, and it's awesome to see do its purpose, which is to, like, one, help me get myself out there as an artist, but two, which is really number one, um, it's another reason to go to that theater. They have so many things going on. You goon. Yeah, Goonies never say die, right? um Man, I'm surprised they haven't made a Goonies 2. I mean, they're making Happy Gilmore 2, and all these other movies, and even Naked Gun, they're remaking, which I haven't seen yet, but from the clips, looks freaking hilarious. That's on my list. I don't know if it's in movie theaters or if I can stream it, but that is definitely on my list. Naked Gun, a huge fan of the original. Um, Movies like that, and Police Academy, they need to remake Police Academy. Oh my God, somebody please remake Police Academy. You know, bring some of the best comedians out there. And it's not like that. You can bring it as a series, and you can rotate comedians like crazy in that show. You can get all these comedians on YouTube and stuff that like really want to break out in series or something. Telling you make a show like Police Academy, and give all these new comedians some chances to get out there. And then you add in, like, some of the staples, if you can find them from those movies. Actors, a lot of them have actually passed. But then add in some, you know, some like actors from that era that are huge, and bada bing, bada boom, you gotta hit. You gotta hit. And if they can make, the Adams Family a show like Wednesday or whatever, I'm pretty sure you can do a Police Academy no problem on Netflix, easy, like that, like that. Get the right concept going, the right characters. If you want to do mainly female driven, you can do that easily. You can get a huge cast going easily. Rotate comedians in and out easily. Give them a shot on the big Netflix stage. That's my idea. That's what I'd be doing right now. If I had any power or pull to do anything, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be working on Police Academy. For sure. For sure. That's what I'd be doing. But, I digress. Here I am in my trailer, hanging out with my cat. 4 a.m. Just chilling. Because nobody needs my filmmaking services. So if anybody needs my filmmaking services, I'll be here in my trailer, literally in my trailer. So yeah, if anybody wants to hire me to do that show, I'll be glad to do it. I just need somebody to pay me, and I'll no problem. I'll get it out in less than a year. I'll have the script ready. I'll have the pilot, the pitch deck, in a month probably. I'll probably have it done in a month. No, that's too generous. I'll have it done in 2 months for sure. If you want it really polished, 3 months. If you want to get the show really going, give me a year, and we'll have a Police Academy pilot airing on Netflix in 1 year. Give me a year. Somebody hire me. Done. Consider it done. Somebody hire me and I'll consider it done. Bun tube. Hey man, thanks. Thanks for the subscription. I'm just hanging out. If you just enjoy hanging out and just shooting the shit at 4 a.m. That's all I've been doing lately. I've been doing these paintings. And then what else? Oh, I'm writing a book. I'm writing my first book. It's I finished editing like I did 3 edits, right? One was like grammar, one was the does it make sense what I'm saying, is it clear, right? And then the third was like an intense grammar correction, because sometimes if you allow the computer to correct something, it'll even make a mistake, like for example, there or were, it'll just confuse itself. And so I go in and make sure word for word. So I read my whole freaking book like 3-4 times, which is hard to do. It's 70 pages. So I've read my book, 70 pages 4 or 5 times, correcting mistakes. And that is, oh my God, that is a task. Let me tell you, that is an exhaustive mental workout. That's why it's fucking hard to write books, because you have to, people hire editors because they don't, that way they don't have to do that, but yeah, it's oof. It took me a week. I thought it would take me a day. A day. Wow. I was being too generous. Yeah, it took me a week to actually finish editing. Now I have to format it. That's the next step. Format it to fit. Well, yeah, I could either copyright it, which is like what, $50 and a whole process, and then I like you this thing in the mail. Yeah, I'll have to get it copyrighted, and then now I have different avenues. I can do Kindle first. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Kindle, and you can get it. I can get it formatted. I got to format it, and then I have to. I don't know what I have to do. Make a cover, I guess. And then yeah, I'm getting very close to getting my book. That's what I need to do. Now that I have a bunch of shit done, I go project to project to project to project. That's what I do. I don't stop. I don't really stop. I just go 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 go. So yeah, and I already have a second book in mind. That's pretty much done. All I have to do is I kind of cheat when I write a book. I just record myself, and then I transcribe that, and that's what I use as the book, right? So essentially, I'm taking 14 recordings of me just talking about different ideas, and they all make sense. They're not all just separate from each other, right? So these are all like key components to how to be a really high achieving person in life. And so that's my next book, is how to be a highly achieving person. Yeah, it's pretty much already written. Like I said, all I have to do is transcribe it, which is a whole process that's hell on wheels. I mean, it's as equally as not stressful, but it's a mental exhaustive experience to edit or to whatever transcribe. I think they have apps for that now, but I don't know. Maybe I can find an app that can do it. I might as well see if I can, because I would hate to have to just transcribe it manually and just sit there listening. Because that's how I did my last book. And holy hell, that is, you got to go back and rewind if you miss something, and sometimes like something doesn't like. There's a noise, and you're like, "What the hell?" You don't know what the word was. You just kind of figure it out. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, yeah. Can you imagine writing 70 pages all transcribed from recordings, and then going through and editing it like 4 times? Anyways, yeah, I'm much closer to getting the book done. The title, it's nonfiction, and the whole book is literally dialogues between me and another person. It's usually somebody really highly creative who's either doing a movie, like this guy wrote a thing that starred Mel Gibson and 50 Cent. So I had a dialogue with him. I had a dialogue with these people who run a film festival, the longest running film festival in Oklahoma. I had a dialogue with them. So it's called Dialogues. The book is called Dialogues, and the subtitle, I guess, is um, Oklahoma Independent Cinema, because that's what I am, right? Oklahoma India Tour. I've been an underground filmmaker in Oklahoma, like my whole life, my whole time I've been here. And crazy enough, the elementary school I went here to in Jarman Elementary, uh, I even worked on a movie that was shot there. I mean, I walk anywhere in Tulsa and it's like, oh yeah, I remember the time I shot a movie there. Oh yeah, I remember the time we shot a movie there. Oh yeah, I remember the time we shot a movie. It's ridiculous. Like I go anywhere, it's like, oh yeah, look, they destroyed that lot and built a house. That whole, or they destroyed that house and built a business. Like it's crazy. Everywhere we look in Tulsa, like we shot a film. So, and then Stray Kids is my ultimate independent movie as an underground filmmaker. Zero budget. I'm not connected to any studio or anything. I'm not a millionaire. I don't have rich uncles that can just pay my way to make films. I literally make movies completely on my own, with the help of community members that have experience and stuff. They can bring a lot to the table. So Stray Kids is like my masterpiece, working alongside Bob Dodd, who without him would have been completely impossible, and without the encouragement of a lot of people like film festivals that I like, these people that I had dialogues with, Sharon, Oscar, super supportive. I mean, without them, Stray Kids would have never happened. And that's just the truth. The motivation wouldn't have been there. So, but I was really disappointed in how it was received in my local community. It wasn't received that well, just because a lot of people have a lot of bias towards me here, negative bias. So I'm planning to do a screening because I have a friend out in LA and she can help me with this. And so the plan is to screen Stray Kids at a local movie theater in LA. That's actually one of my favorite ones. When I was visiting LA, when I was part of a program for upcoming directors. There's a whole story in that, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, the Independent, the one downtown LA, that's where I plan to screen Stray Kids. I wouldn't call it a tour per se, but I do plan to have screenings in different select cities when I can. The first one being in LA, the next one will be New York. The next one, not necessarily festivals, because I can't rely on festivals. You pay like 50 whatever bucks to submit, but I never get picked. There's so many movies. I'd rather just have my own movie day at a theater, and like the film festival can go fuck themselves because I cannot rely on them anymore for any exhibition access. You can't rely on them. So I go straight to the source. You go straight to the movie theater. I set up the screening. It does cost a lot, but guess what? I can make a shit ton of money selling tickets. It's not that difficult to sell tickets to an independent movie. People are into that stuff. So even in a bigger city, it's going to be much easier. So, and especially a city that's completely outside of Tulsa, right? Anytime I go, I leave Tulsa, you get praises. You show your work in Tulsa, they just shit on it. It's ridiculous how the whole thing works. And then when you go outside of Tulsa and the people praise you, and then you come back, then Tulsa praises you. Only then Tulsa praise. But if you don't have the praise from the other cities and stuff, and Tulsa goes, oh, we didn't realize. That's where I'm at with things. I guess call me. I'm just, a struggling artist. I've been a struggling artist my whole life. That's just what it is. But I'm finally starting to break through. It's nice. I'm starting to break through with a lot of things, with my paintings, with my films. It just takes a long time. It can take a long time. So, but yeah, I'm starting to break through, and it's gonna just take a little more time before I get a little more serious with the whole getting an agent and like a manager for to represent me. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. There's still a lot of things going on in my private life that doesn't really allow me to move forward. So as long as I have those things going on, that I have to be responsible for, I can't ever make that move into the industry. I just can't. Professionally, I can never make that move. It would require too much sacrifice and too much time, and it would take me away from my responsibilities. And like I said, I can't be removed. I'm such an integral part of this whole family structure that I wouldn't be able to leave. It's just the truth. I'm kind of stuck here. I've always been stuck here. You know, it's not a bad thing, and I don't care one way or the other. That's the thing. I don't care. I'm not desperate to chase after dreams. I can work on stuff here, no problem, and have a good time. You know, I don't have to go to LA. I don't have to do this. I don't have to. As long as I'm here and I'm taking care of business, it's all good, and I can ease my way into it. I don't have to turbo jet power through. I don't have to just insert myself in there, and I could do that. I could. I know I have the capability of doing that and being really successful. I just, like I said, I'm so tied down with so many things. It just would never. It'll never happen until I'm finally. Anyways, apologize if that thing just went off in your earbuds. But yeah, yeah, I'm making moves. I'm making moves to do a little tour with the movie that I have. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to try streaming with it, but I am going to give my shot. I'm going to try. There's this thing called Film Hub that basically submit your movie, and they look at it and go, "Oh yeah, we can see about putting your movie into these different streaming services if it's good enough. If it checks all the things that it has to go through." The thing with Stray Kids is I don't know that it checks all the things that it has to check. So I don't know if it'll be eligible for streaming, but at the very least, I can release it on YouTube. And I'm literally waiting I'm only going to release Stray Kids on YouTube only when I get monetized. So, like, if you guys want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, I will release my movie Stray Kids on YouTube, but I'm only going to release it when I get monetized. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make any money off of it. And I spent a good 15 years of my life making this movie. I spent a lot of money out of pocket every day, month to month, working on it. If I had to guesstimate how much I spent on it in the 15 years, I would have to say about $5,000. $5,000 making the movie, and it doesn't sound like much. Sorry, my alarm just went off. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. Sorry, I'm just hanging out. I don't have like a podcast going on or anything, so I'm just hanging out. So apologize if there's like noises and buzzes and a lot of shit going on. I'm not like a pro, that's what I'm saying. I'm just a guy with a phone. So apologize. Um, yeah. So my next move, I know there's a couple more celebrities coming in town. So I'm gonna paint those and see if I can get them signed. I gotta finish my book situation. I got a book cover I gotta finish. I'm prepping myself for today. I'm gonna go back to sleep, and then when I wake up, boom, get back to work. So the thing is, yeah, the book is the main thing. I can jump right back in. That's one thing I hate doing, but it's just part of life. Is you start a project and then like you realize a deadline's coming up for like something to do, like for the paintings. So I literally have to put a pen on something, like the writing, and then jump on the paintings, get those done, and then go back to this project. And sometimes I have a huge project that's just kind of like slowly moving forward. You know, like take Stray Kids for example. It's just this really huge, massive, slow moving project. But then I have these little art projects that are getting out there, you know, and I have these other projects. It's just I don't know. It's a madness of projects. It's like spinning plates. I'm just spinning plates all day. That's what I do. If I had to make a metaphor for it, with all these little stupid projects, but that are eventually gonna be my passive income, I guess. You know, I'm gonna have probably more than 7 streams of passive income through internet. Whoa, what is that? That was like a moth. There's a moth in my trailer. It's just kind of. I thought it was a wasp for a second. Oh god, is it? No, no, that's a moth. Shit. Yeah, he's just trying to get out. Shit. That was a wasp for a second. That would suck to have a wasp in here. It's a very small space. Very small space. I got stung by a wasp the other day. Stepped on one by accident. Mushroom. What up? What's the best drug? I would have to say love is probably the best drug. No, I'm serious. It's a crazy moth back there. Where'd he go? Oh, now it's camera shy. This thing was bouncing all over the place, and now it's like, nope, sorry. You're gonna bust up the camera. I'm gonna disappear. Oh, there he goes. What the fuck? I'm telling you, I think this is nuts. This shit is nuts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a moth. Yeah, it's a moth. How exciting. How exciting. Anyways, I'm just making sure it's not a wasp. It's not a wasp, it's a moth. So we're good. We're good. It's fucking crazy. Chill out. Shit. I'm hanging out. I'm just hanging out. I guess I go to bed really early, like 9. I think 9 p.m. is when I went to bed. But I was up all night, either night, doing paintings. So, but if I usually go to bed at 9 or 8 a.m., I usually get up around 3, and then I'll go back to sleep. See, even Benny's like, "What the fuck is that? Fucking crazy moth flying around in here. It's freaking everybody out." I'm pretty exhausted from the paintings, from doing the paintings and doing the Comic Con thing. The Comic Con was really cool. I did a live. I did a live video of the Comic Con thing. Like I said, it was man. This thing's driving me nuts. It's just flying around. He needs to chill. He needs to chill the freak out. All right, dude. Just pick a spot. Jeez. Anyways, it's so distracting. It's incredibly distracting. I don't even know what I was talking about. No idea. Well, I guess I'm just hanging out. I'm just hanging out until I get sleepy again. Oh, the Comic Con, the live thing. Yeah. Um. Nope. There he goes again. Fucking moth, bouncing around like an idiot. Get out of here, dude. It was cool. Like I said, it was my first real one where there's like, you know, actual decent actors there. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's like a cult. It's like a culture. It's almost like a culture that I didn't really know about because I never got into it. But now that I know, it's awesome. It's really freaking awesome. It really is. Um, so it made me realize that I need to be doing it myself. I need to talk to the guy who does it, and I need to be a vendor and or an artist, figure out how to get myself as an artist in that position in corner next to the celebrities. They're also, there to sign up. Obviously there's going to be like hardly anybody there for me, but if I can still do it, it'll like position my, what I'm saying? It'll like position myself. I don't know if it makes sense in a social atmosphere where it's like, oh yeah, he's part of the celebrities. Does that make sense? Does that make sense at all? I don't know if that made any sense, but in the social stratosphere of the Comic Con, I will be with the celebrities. Is what I'm saying. Around, then I do this, I do that, and hopefully, because I am building my brand, as an actor, and I have a whole animated series that I want to do. What the fuck? Attack of the Moth. Okay, I think he's found a home inside the fire detector. Okay, great. Good. Fantastic. Um, a show like Hank of the Hill or something, just something with my own humor to it though, And so lo and behold, Drunk at the Lake is this animated show idea I have, and I guess the next step, because what I really want to do is I want to do it myself. I'm not going to pitch it to a studio or a channel. I want to do it. I want to create my own YouTube separate channel from this one. It'll be called Drink at the Lake, and I'm literally going to make 30-minute shows, and with a break in the middle on purpose. And essentially, if I can get a sponsor, I'll advertise whatever sponsor I get, kind of like how they did back in the day when they, what we do right now with TV is you get a sponsor and that's how you get your show on TV, right? I'm not talking about Netflix, I'm talking about television. Well, YouTube is essentially television now, and so if I can get a good sponsor, some what do you call them, programs and apps, to be able to create the animated series. There's one particular program that's very cool, that's very like released a real sponsor to back the show. And so essentially, I can, with these new programs, I can do all the voices because that's what I've been doing. I've been doing voices and stuff. And the only problem that I have is that, I've been using the AI on YouTube to create the animated portion of the show, right? But it's impossible to create a character that you keep using over time with this YouTube AI tool. You have to regenerate it every time, and I tried getting the character as close as possible by creating descriptions in the prompts. On the prompts and the AI tool, I would say, okay, a character wearing torn blue jeans, a white shirt, and I would say it's a white male, this height with this kind of haircut, this kind of hair, like basically describing myself. And so I basically used my blueprint in real life to create this character. And what's funny is that the name Lasso came from a nickname somebody would call me back in the day, and it never stuck, and I never really used it. But I started using it mainly for the character, and that name just stuck with me, I guess now, and I'm using it for YouTube mainly, and I'm using it almost as a artist pen name, because my real name is too weird. Like it's too Italian, and it's too fancy for Americans. They think it's made up. A lot of I think a lot of people think my name's made up. So I was like, okay, well, I might as well make up a name anyways. If so many people think my name is made up, because they've never heard of a name like that. They've never seen a name like that. So I'm just like, okay, well, forget it. If it's too much to handle, then I'll just make up something stupid like Lasso, and that's became the name. Um, I was just trying to think of the funniest nickname I could give myself and really use as the character for the show, and it was Lasso. Lasso was the funniest name I can think of for myself as a for the character for myself for the character, and vice versa, versa versa. Um, but anyways, yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to doing is the animated series, and that's something like I said I can tie back into the Comic Con. If I do a really good job with the animated series, and I can get enough money to advertise the show and push it out there, my hope is to actually make shorts out of the and make clips out of the from the whole show. 30-minute shows. I'm gonna do 30-minute episodes. Uh, the idea is to hit the Asian market first, as far as streaming, because it's a little more popular to have a streaming service just for shorts, believe it or not, in Asia. So they're a little more ahead as far as that goes. And so, like, you have full dramas, for example, being watched on shorts versus like using a television or using YouTube long form. Literally, watching short form, a streaming service that's literally a show that you watch as a shorts. So my hope is to hit the Asian market with my animated series, um, because it has an anime feel to it. It's an anime, but in like Hicktown, USA. And so there's a lot of like walking the Comic Con. There are a lot of fans, young fans, who love anime, especially like Asian anime, right? But there's not really like American anime, not that I know of. So my idea is to create American anime that is for the Asian market, to basically laugh their asses off at us to get popularity. And so with that, and literally make it an Asian show for Asian people to love. And so the idea is that because it's an Asian show, the Americans are going to love it naturally, and they're going to accept it as being a real anime, versus me just trying to pump it down their throats and like, oh, I made an American anime, check it out. No, I'm going to hit the Asian market first and see how it does. And I think it'll be a huge success, in my opinion, because there a lot of people in Asia love cowboy culture and love, old school, like leather jacket, the hair up like this. What do you call it? I don't know. Pompadour culture. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, subculture, that a lot of people would love the show over there. Karaoke, all that stuff. So, and they would get a laugh you know, at me making fun of American culture. They would get a laugh at it for sure. Um, and it's not even real. Like, it's like taking American culture and taking it to the extreme as a joke, and it's not real American culture, but it's like making fun of it in an extreme way. And I think it's going to be a huge hit. It's going to be a huge hit in Asia, and it'll be a huge hit here once it does well over there. In my opinion, that's the strategy. But I'm thinking, and I'm saying this freely. And I don't care if anybody tries to steal the idea, because it's easier said than done. I mean, you gotta have a real passion for this stuff. And I do. I have a real passion for this stuff, and I've many ideas for the show. I still haven't written out a pilot or anything, but I have a really good idea. I've got rough drafts and stuff. I don't have a real pilot or a pitch deck for it yet. Um, but yeah, it's something that I'm really excited about. It's my next project. Essentially, it's my next project. Um, my next big project to focus down on. So I'm excited for that. Um, See, it's good to talk about goals because then they'll go back to sleep. When I wake up, I'll know what to do. But like I was saying, I already have a second book on the way. I still have to finish the first one. I got paintings on the way. I got a movie on the way, and I actually acted in this independent movie that I'm still waiting for it to be released into festivals or something. I don't know. What I may end up doing is team up with this director and do a double screening, double movie, double feature, my movie and his movie, um, back to back, which could be interesting, and hit the movie theaters like that locally. Could be interesting to do it that way. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Um, anyways, yeah, yeah. I think I'm about ready to go back to bed and just go back to sleep. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll get like 6 hours of sleep, wake up. Yo, what up? Welcome. For those who don't know, I'm Lasso. This is Lasso's Passions. I'm a filmmaker, actor. I act on stage, act in movies, but I haven't made it big yet. Haven't made it big. But like at this one movie that I'm hoping to hopefully by either the end of this year, like November or December, or maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see. If I could do November, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see because it depends on the movie theater. But in LA, there's a theater in LA that I want to screen my movie Stray Kids. And if I get enough subscribers I get monetized, I will release my movie on YouTube. It's called Stray Kids. I'm aware that there's a Korean boy band called Stray Kids, but believe it or not, when I wrote Stray Kids, that boy band didn't exist. It just came out at the same time. So I stuck with it. I've had talks with Bob, one of the producers on it. It's like, should we change the name? He's like, no, don't change the name. I was like, all right. So I'm sticking with it. I'm sure by accident, a lot of fans of Stray Kids, the boy band, will probably be like, oh, is this a new movie by the boy band? But no, it's not. It's not. It's not. But I just think it's funny that literally the same moment I thought about, I wrote this script. It's called Stray Kids, and there's a freaking boy band called Stray Kids, and they're actually really big too. They're like pretty huge. I don't know if they're still together, or there's just like they were together for quite a bit. I remember them getting really popular really fast and just taking off. And I was really annoyed by that because at the time there's nothing called Stray Kids. I googled it. It was like nothing, like Stray Kids, anything Stray Kids. No, okay. Well, I'll fucking use it. So annoyed. Anyways, I got big plans, big plans. Yeah, if I get monetized, or when I get monetized with everyone's help who's subscribing, I will release my movie Stray Kids on this channel. Like I said, I'm waiting to get monetized because one of the last movies I released got 65,000 views. And can you imagine if my channel was monetized and I could have made some money, something. I could have made what, $60, $600. I don't know. But yeah, I think Stray Kids has potential to be a big hit on YouTube. It could be a huge flop. I don't know. It can go either way, but I'm gonna push it, see how it does. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna hit this and go to bed. Because I've said enough. I got the goals all in my head. I'm quite tired of this moth flying around. So yeah, I'm going to bed. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go to bed now that I got the sleepies coming in. I don't know. I don't know. This always happens. I just go to bed when I'm tired and then wake up around 3 a.m. Just hang out and then go back to sleep. All right, I'm out. I'm out of here, dude. Quit wasting my time. No, I'm kidding.